Jewish people, and all of us originally.
This is Storybook Radio.
Chapter 1, Shadows of Paradise. The summer of 2011 blazed with heat and endless possibilities. At 16, I was 2 inches taller, yet somehow skinnier than my peers. As the Colorado sun beat down, I sat in the back seat of our Jeep, watching the light bounce off my glasses. My dad, Alex, had a wild gleam in his eye as he studied a map spread across his lap. The map pointed us toward the quiet place, a destination of mystery and promise, with old-fashioned homes and a new facility in this year's book camp. A sharp turn jostled us, and Mom's exasperated voice cut through the hum of the engine. "Alex, keep your eyes on the road." Her tone mixed genuine concern and disbelief, not just for our safety, but as a rebuke of Dad's latest impulsive leap into the unknown. Mom's hair, like a golden cascade, framed her worried face as she stared out the window. "Sorry, honey," Dad replied with his usual optimism. "Mr. Goldson emailed me back." His unkempt hair and patchy beard gave him a bohemian look, forever lost in his creative world. "He's reviewing the manuscript, Sarah. I'm telling you, this deal's happening soon." Mom's voice was dry, tinged with frustration. "Will that deal cover the mortgage, or the $200 in overdraft fees?" Her words lingered, a reminder of the precarious balance between Dad's dreams and our reality. I sat silently, absorbing every word, holding on to the belief in Dad's storytelling magic, the kind of magic that transformed risks into grand adventures. The Jeep crawled up a winding mountain road, then stopped at a guardrail overlooking the campgrounds. The landscape opened up like a secret passage, leading us into a town built for readers. The quiet whispers of literary lore seemed to call from every brick, every path. A weathered signpost appeared ahead, stark black and white with a crescent moon and shushing fingers. "Welcome to the quiet place." This wasn't just any camp. The quiet place was a town grown from the dreams of those who cherished books, a haven that bloomed each summer for teens seeking escape, or a newfound love for reading. I had my reasons for attending camp, reasons Dad had woven into our family's tradition. My heart pounded with a mix of excitement and nervousness. It was my first year at book camp, and every step overwhelmed me with anticipation and a hint of dread. We parked in a lot that looked like an amusement park for bibliophiles. Luggage carriers stood under pavilions, silent sentinels. Dad carefully reversed the Jeep between the lines, while Mom, still simmering, helped me load my stuff. Then we approached the gate. The towering 20-foot structure of white bricks with iron rods loomed ahead, and something inside me tensed. 3 orderly lines of parents and campers had gathered. They moved with purpose, each clutching a contract, the formal consent for their teens to become the property of the quiet place for 3 long months. At the booths, parents pricked their fingers, releasing a drop of blood before stamping their signatures onto the contract, sealing it in an envelope. And then, the Crooks stepped forward. The Crooks. Cloaked in black, they were more than human. They were something ancient, their faces hidden behind intricately carved crow masks, their expressions unreadable and unnerving, as if guarding forbidden knowledge. They moved in perfect unison with a height and stature identical, like mechanical sentinels. Methodically, they sealed each contract with hot wax and deposited it into a metal box, locking away our fates with each precise motion. Whispers among the campers suggested they were more than human, beings of mystery, deepening the lore of the quiet place. I watched, wide-eyed, as parents signed their contracts, each offering a drop of blood, sealing their teens' fate, a ritual binding them to this mystical town. Before I could take it all in, another figure appeared, Dot. Tall, skinny, and oozing confidence, he walked toward the gate with effortless swagger. His dark hair, styled in a sharp Caesar cut, framed his face, partly hidden by Ray-Ban shades. Dot wasn't just any camper. He was the reigning champion of the past 2 years, shattering Dad's record with feats of reading that earned him 5,100 points his first year and 5,200 last year. A swarm of cameras followed him, and a reporter hovered nearby, eager for the next soundbite. With a cocky grin, Dot shot a glance at the reporter and said, "I'll put up 6,000 points this year." His words were sharp and confident, the kind of declaration that made it clear he was born to win. He strutted forward, shoulders squared, his every step oozing with entitlement, as if victory was guaranteed. Trailing behind him, his father moved with quiet authority. In a perfectly tailored black suit, the man's unreadable expression betrayed nothing, but his posture, the way his hands were folded tightly behind his back, spoke of silent determination. It was clear his son's success was the weight he carried, an expectation built on legacy. The contrast between father and son was striking. Dot, the arrogant prodigy, and his father, the silent architect of that destiny. The gates groaned open, and the campers surged forward in a chaotic torrent of bikes and hushed excitement. The quiet place beckoned, with winding cobblestone lanes and ivy-covered walls, each step drawing us into a realm where literature was more than a pastime. It was life itself. Just as we began to enter, a disturbance erupted at the gate. A parent, red-faced with indignation, marched forward. "I want to see my son through the quiet place," he bellowed, his voice echoing off the towering barrier. The air tightened, and a crook stepped forward. With measured calm, the crook intoned, "That is a violation of Rule 201, Section B. Your son is now the property of the quiet place." Before anyone could react, the crook raised two gloved fingers and jabbed the man. With unnerving precision, the parent crumpled to the ground, as if struck by an invisible force. A nervous murmur rippled through the crowd. One man, trying to lighten the tension, joked, "He got a taser under his robe, guys." But it only deepened the unease. The stark contrast between the ritual at the gate and the chilling authority of the crooks was undeniable. Here in the quiet place, even entering camp was a solemn ceremony, a contract between us and this enigmatic world of books and secrets. As the initial rush of campers subsided, I was swept up in the tide of cautious excitement. My family and I were part of something larger now, a mysterious experiment in the heart of the quiet place. I couldn't help but reflect on Dad's deep fascination with this town, where he had once been a champion. He'd won the prestigious Bookathon contest, setting a record of 5,000 points, and with it, the coveted emerald necklace. But fate had turned. In desperation, Dad's father sold the necklace for a mere $10 million. It was later revealed to be worth $70 million, a decision that had cast a long, lingering shadow over our connection to the quiet place. As I watched Dot, the reigning champion, his arrogance undeniable, I knew this was no ordinary camp. It was a battleground, and I was about to enter a world where stories were the greatest treasure,